Sometimes an unexpected action or meeting can completely change a person's life. Another true story will prove that kind people never cease to amaze us. Business for Mr. David was proceeding with mixed results. I want to get away from the city, to get away from it all. I'm going to see my father, Mr. David decided. I haven't seen him in 20 years. My dad's in his 80s. So who knows if he's guaranteed tomorrow. So Mr. David boarded a plane, landing in Boston a few hours later. He then rented a car and drove 6 hours toward the country, where his dad lived. The houses in those parts were dilapidated and old. Among them, one house sprinkled with surprising newness, and as he drove closer, Mr. David saw a sign that read, "Hospital." He was surprised, but kept searching for his father's 2-story house. To his surprise, the home he once knew stood on the same plot, albeit under a new roof. His father, sitting outside, stood up and headed for the car to greet his son. "You're here, son." "Certainly, father," David said. "I thought you'd be busy again and not come," his father confessed. David looked toward the aging house and asked his father, "Instead of messing with a new roof, why didn't you hire someone to build you a new house?" His father replied, "Why would I? You grew up in this house. Mom lived in it while she was alive, and I didn't want to tear it down. And the money you sent to build the house, I gave to build a hospital, and I also wanted to give it to the kindergarten, but I don't have enough yet. There are some young people in the settlement, and we so hope they don't leave. You're a patron of the arts, father, all right." David chimed in. The next day, father and son drove to a local restaurant for lunch. Mr. David ordered multiple dishes of food. After a while, a man with an unshaven face, in his 40s, but surprisingly sober, approached them. "Spare something to eat?" he asked, staring at the table before adding, "I just got out of prison. I can't get a job, and I don't want to steal and go back to prison." Mr. David placed an order for the man and indicated the table on which to place all the food. The waitress stated that no such characters are served at their restaurant. "Okay, then bag the entire order properly." The waitress brought the order, and David personally handed the packages to the ex-con, who left the restaurant. After eating, the son and father headed for the exit. To the surprise of the men, a recent acquaintance, still carrying bags, was waiting for them at the side of the restaurant entrance. "Thank you for offering a fancy lunch. Did you see how envious all the customers were looking at you? They noticed the son's true love for his father," said the ex-convict. "I've only achieved so much because of my parents," David said, "and that's why I'm returning the love now, at least to my father." "And what kind of love is that if you're leaving, when there's so much to do here?" the new acquaintance asked. David hesitated and suddenly held out his card to the interlocutor. "Call me in 2 months. I'll get you a job. You won't regret it," David continued. "I will sell my business in the city, and as there is plenty of opportunity awaiting me there, I will consult my father on where to start," David continued. David said goodbye to the man, hugged his father, and father and son drove home together. In embracing parents, we become calm. In embracing life, we become wise.